Darby Allin retains the TNT championship in pretty much a banger of a match. Let's be honest. We're going to talk about it in just a second, so stay tuned. This is the Elite Maniac podcast. What's up, people? Welcome to the Elite Maniac podcast, where we discuss all things AEW. My name is Mex, also known as WrestleManiac UK. I'm here with my co-host Mike, also known as King's Road Wrestling. We're going to be reviewing a pretty decent show of Dynamite this week. There was a lot to talk about, a lot of really good story beats told, some good matches as well. So we're going to run through that in just a second. But before we do, please make sure, as always, that you've smashed that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, notification bell, everything like that. Audio listeners, please make sure you subscribe or follow us on your audio platform of choice. And please make sure you leave us with a 5-star review. Let the people know the good work that myself and Mike are doing right here at Elite Maniac podcast. Mike, how's it been going this week, bro?
It's going good. We had a crazy week last week. Kind of wrestled out a little bit, from all this programming that we've been watching. But man, we're still going strong for you, the viewer. But I'm calling on everybody listening right now. We need your help. We are consistently putting out great stuff for you guys. And we've been hearing that you guys have been enjoying the podcast. You've been enjoying the posts that we've been making. So please, if you have the chance, share this podcast, share one of our videos, get the word out there that the Elite Maniac podcast is the #1 AEW review podcast on the internet.
Yeah, exactly what Mike said. And I have to say, I commend you on tuning in to WrestleMania.
I did it. I had a great time too. I put my biases aside that I want to enjoy wrestling for a night. And you know what? When you do that, you really do enjoy wrestling. And I had a fun time watching all the matches. And I'm very impressed with some of those performances. Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair. Wow, they are great additions to that roster. So congrats to Bianca Belair. I really enjoyed most of the matches, to be honest. Kevin Owens, El Generico. Wow. I mean, what did you think of all that? Good weekend for you?
Yeah, it was. It was good. Things were difficult, obviously, with the pandemic, and it's like WrestleMania light, WrestleMania on a diet. It wasn't quite, the spectacle we've come to see and understand and love, but we're getting there, and things are getting better. And like you said, when you put away your bias, you put your bias to one side and just enjoy wrestling for what it is, like you get to enjoy the weekend. And now that NXT has now officially moved to Tuesday nights, those that want to can enjoy NXT in peace. Those that want to can enjoy AEW in peace. And yeah, there's no more comparison, or at least there shouldn't be any direct comparison, and everyone can just enjoy things as they like.
So guess what?
What?
I am going to check out NXT this week because it's on Tuesday now, and I don't really have the competition. I'm doing something on Sunday, but I got a little bit of free time on Friday. And I'm gonna check it out, see how I like it. And I heard that they hit 800K, so that's good for them. I'm hoping AEW
is the AEW results out yet? Oh, it's a bit early in the day.
It's a bit early, like 2:00 usually. So I'm hoping that both of these shows did well, because we got to support both, and I'm hoping that they killed the ratings, both of them. This was a great AEW show. I'm assuming NXT did well too, from what I heard. But man, this was a crazy AEW show.
It was a crazy show. Early shouts out to Christian, Camacho, NK, Arpit, all in the chat, getting busy. Christian says here that the old Young Bucks are back. I think, that's the starting point of today's show, innit? So do you want to jump into
it is, man,
the first thing that happened on the show?
All right. So the Young Bucks sent out a tweet last week, and this is kind of a precursor to everything. They said, if we get any negative mentions on our Twitter tonight, we'll be forced to delete our account again. People went nuts, and they took the bait again. They always do stuff like this, where people are like, are you kidding me? Like, they're such snowflakes. But they've done this before in New Japan, where they sent out the same tweet saying that they're going to delete their account. it's just to rile everybody up. They cut a promo on BTE. I don't know if you saw this, but Kenny Omega, he said that something's got to change. Basically, like, these people don't care about us. They have go away heat. If the Young Bucks died tomorrow, nobody would care. If Kenny Omega broke his neck, nobody would care. These people, they said, that used to support them turned on them, and they want their promotion out of business. So you knew coming into Wednesday night that this was going to be a different Young Bucks. At least I did from that BTE segment. We started off the program, though, with a promo from the Young Bucks. They said that they chose friendship last week instead of AEW in general, that Kenny is their family, Moxley isn't. He said that Don Callis, he's a little bit rougher on the edges, but when someone's right, someone's right. And Matt Jackson said that he was absolutely right. They have changed. They've kind of become complacent, and it's time to take the tag team division by storm. And we got thrusted right into this AEW Tag Team Championship match with Death Triangle versus the Young Bucks. And initial reactions to this 30-minute opener.
That was my initial reaction.
Right?
This match was long, but it was good. It wasn't
really
like a
good.
long kind of slog that you're sitting through, like, when is this going to end? But yeah, it was just full packed of entertainment. Look at the guys we have in the ring. Pac and Phoenix on their own could keep you entertained for half an hour. Plus, you had this new dynamic of the Young Bucks, everything they were doing to really put across that we're bad guys now, being very cocky. I think I saw someone, NK said here, the Young Bucks being cocky, arrogant heels is amazing. This is their bag. This is what they do better than anything else. Like, this is where they made their name. So yeah.
It's definitely true. And what AEW's done, and I think that it's really great for the promotion, is they always surprise me. They always do something kind of for a little bit. You're like he's not that good. He's not the same. Like, this is kind of boring. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, I feel like they planned this out somehow. They thrust the guys into the complete opposite direction and make them go straight to the moon. They did this with Omega when people were like, he sucks. Now look at him. They're doing this with the Young Bucks. They were like shells of themselves, I think, to draw heat in from the fans. Then all of a sudden, they turn heel and are thrusted to the top. So AEW, I feel like, always has a plan in the back of their pocket. Yeah. And they really like that long-term, intricate storytelling. But you're right, man. Pat could be alone in the ring and still be entertaining. Like, just wrestling an invisible person. I know they've done that over in Japan, but seriously, these guys were all stars. And for those video viewers out there, I take notes for every show. This was the match. So, and it went on to the next page. So this was how much action that there was in this match. So,
what were some of the main spots? You want to call that? Remind us of some of the main spots in the match.
I'll do that right now. We saw Tope con Heroes from both teams. Lots of super kicks from the Young Bucks. Lots of combination moves from Death Triangle. We saw Pac hit the Black Arrow, but Matt Jackson got out of it with the help of Nick Jackson. We saw a face buster by Nick Jackson. And we saw the streamers come in, which is what they did in their old Ring of Honor days. Matt Jackson was air humping, which is what they used to do to draw heat. We saw one of the craziest moves that I've ever seen. It was what they were calling a counter monkey kick into a Canadian destroyer. So they bounced off the rope and then Canadian destroyer. And then we saw a cutters on the outside and a victory after Phoenix got demasked by the Young Bucks and then super kick. So they were really trying to get that heel heat. The Young Bucks ended up winning this match, retaining the tag team titles in a crazy 30-minute match. I know I gave it about 5 stars on my page, but did you see what they were wearing, by the way?
The Dior's.
What, dude, this is like another element of how much heat they're trying to get.
NK said, despicable.
Yeah.
These are 8,000 pounds trainers.
Yeah, they're 10 grand in the US. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Did you see Complex reposted them and people were pissed in the comment section? Like, are you kidding me? Like, he's creasing them. I'm like, this is all part of Don Callis' big plan and the Young Bucks plan to draw heat. But did you think this match was to that caliber that I just said? Or
it was a brilliant match. Brilliant match. Love all the guys involved. Didn't need, any kind of, once you see the names of certain guys on the card that you're getting a banger. Like I was actually trying to do some work during this match and I couldn't look at my work because I was just focused on the screen. I was just focused on watching this match because it had all my attention. One thing which we have spoken about on this show before, Arpit says that why don't they have the BTE promo on Dynamite?
Man.
Because not even 200,000 people watch it, and that was one of the best promos. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know about the viewership and all the numbers like Arpit mentioned, but definitely bridging that gap. We've spoken about not everyone watches BTE, and they set up a lot of things on BTE, which they follow through on Dynamite, but if you don't watch BTE, you would never know that. So,
and now with Elevation too, and Dark, there's actually promos on both of those segments. And I was just thinking to myself, and Arpit is exactly right, and you're correct. We've been saying this for months, but I was just thinking to myself, they must really care about YouTube because, 200,000 views, that's in like a day though. A lot of these videos, like I know Dark Elevation, like that was at like 900K. Like this is got to be raking in some money for them.
Yeah. And remember, they're not fools in terms of their demographic. This 18 to 35, whatever it is. That's the YouTube gang as well.
The YouTube generation.
That is the YouTube generation. That is where most people that were brought up on YouTube. That's where they fall currently, 18 to 35. So they are making sure they're in front of where their demographic is as well. Just before we move off this match, Christian Camacho says here, I think we're getting a mask versus hair match after Rey Fenix's post from today. Have you seen this post? I haven't.
No, I was working out.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen this post either. A hair versus mask match. I guess one of the Young Bucks. That would be something.
They ain't cutting their hair.
Yeah, I can't see them cutting their hair. That's what I'm thinking.
No way, dude. That's like so Vince Russo made them cut their hair when they went over to Impact Wrestling. They talked about it in their book. When they were Generation Me, Vince was like, "Cut your hair," and they were like devastated. So that's not happening, I don't think.
Yeah. Now they're in charge of their own company. Yeah. But great match to open the show. What was up next?
We saw a little Inner Circle promo. This was actually pretty heartwarming. It was nice. Jericho said that he called some people that he felt he needed to apologize for when I guess they turned babyface. And the first person to call was Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson was there in this promo. He says that he respects Mike Tyson for remaining relevant for 30 years, and he knows a little bit about that. And both of them have remained very relevant for 30 years. I remember I was in with some friends who didn't really know anything about wrestling, and I said, I'm gonna watch a wrestling pay-per-view tonight. It was Revolution of last year, and they're like, "Oh, who's on it?" And I said, Jericho? And they're like, "Oh yeah, I know Jericho." They're like, "Yeah, Jericho and Tyson." Household names really in the industry. And Jericho said that he asked Tyson to come back here and back the Inner Circle up in case the Pinnacle attacks them. Tyson spoke and said that he's going to call it right down the middle so nobody mess up because he's going to knock somebody out. So cool little promo from Tyson. We had a little bit of a Dark Order thing too. And it was pretty basic. John Silver's recovering. He's going to be out for a couple more weeks. But I thought it was awesome. I don't know if you saw my post on Dark on Tuesday. They had the Dark Order Zoomed with one of their super fans, and the kid gave them tips about moves to use in the match. And then Alex Reynolds implemented the moves, and Silver was feeding it to him from the commentary. And that was that was just such a heartwarming moment.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't see that. No.
There were 16 matches on Monday, 16 on Tuesday.
It's overkill.
Great. When I get a job, because I'm still in school, I don't really know. And so if anybody's out there and wants to apprentice for me and wants to work for my page, hit me up because I'm gonna need someone soon.
You need support, yeah.
Yeah. I know we have coming up next, one of our favorites. We both are really behind this person. Jade Cargill took on Red Velvet. And man, before this match, I was saying, don't do what I think you're going to do.
What did you think they were going to do?
I know Cody's hot on Red Velvet. He loves her. He always talks about Red Velvet. I thought that they were going to ruin Jade's like mystique right now and have her go lose to Red Velvet, which I thought would have been a huge mistake. Obviously, that wasn't the case. But who are you rooting for? I mean, we never really asked that. Who are you?
So if I'm honest, I thought that Red Velvet has pretty much been on the beating side of this feud for quite a while. I thought Red Velvet was going to possibly pick up a win here, and then maybe Jade gets her heat back by beating her up viciously after the match. When I think back now in hindsight, I think, was it Dark earlier this week where Red Velvet attacked Jade Cargill and she came out?
Yeah, she said on that person,
it's a. I think they've done the right thing, like you said. They got to keep the mystique of Jade. Jade is who they're kind of building. They've got to keep the mystique, so they've done the right thing. It's just, when will Red Velvet get a win over her is the question. But yeah,
I mean, maybe possibly not. I don't know. It's just Jade right now. It's like you're saying, they're trying to build her with this mystique. They're really going all out with her, which is cool. She is. I know you did a great spotlight of Bianca Belair this week with Adrian over at Black Wrestling Alliance. I think last week. It's so important, and I know Cody really wants to do this too, is to diversify your roster, to get people from all different backgrounds. And Jade really, I think, is exactly that. She wasn't born into a wrestling family. She doesn't really come from that life at all. She was a basketball player in Jacksonville, kind of started from the bottom, and they're really taking her and making her into something that everybody's looking up to. And I think that's really cool. And I think if I were to pick one person to do this with, it would be Jade Cargill. She's just unique, original, and awesome. So I was really behind her in this match. And she did, I think, pretty well for only her fourth match. I think she had 2 at the factory or something. But she put in some cool work. She's got a great big boot, right?
The pump kick.
Yeah, it's like, boom. Yeah. Red Velvet did well too, but I felt like Jade really had the advantage throughout the match. And Red Velvet did get in some offense after the commercial break. She got a spinning kick. Jade missed a spear, went right into the ring post, and then Red Velvet did a clothesline. She missed a moonsault, though. Jade Cargill took advantage of that and hit the Jaded Edge, which I think is a really cool finisher. And she got the pinfall victory.
Yeah, it suits her so well.
So Jade is victorious, continuing her 2-0 winning streak. But she's not the only one in the women's division that is looking to climb the ranks. We obviously have one of our favorites, the DMD, Dr. Britt Baker.
This woman is so good. Like, it's unbelievable how good she is.
She's great, man.
Like, I don't want to sound like some, mark for Britt Baker. Maybe I am. I don't
we
care.
are a little bit.
Yeah, I don't care if I am, because honestly, she is just so good. This promo, and I've seen her, I think she done this on Dark as well, making jokes basically of the ranking system, which is fair because it hasn't been consistent. Now saying that, well, what's her face lost? Red Velvet lost. So she has more wins than Red Velvet. They've got the same amount of losses. She should step over her in the rankings. And that, I think as well as that, I think she made a little dig. Remember, we were saying that these wins on Dark and Elevation shouldn't count towards the rankings.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then she was like, oh, yeah, well, I'm just going to keep fighting on Dark and Elevation and working my way up the thing. She has no business. She doesn't want any business with, because obviously Dynamite are the more bigger marquee matches with maybe harder competitors. But it's like she knew, if I go on Dark and Elevation like everyone else has been doing and beat the enhancement talent like everyone else has been doing, then I can get up this ranking system as quick as possible. That's what I got. Like
Ty Conti.
Like Tay, yeah. That's exactly what I got from it. Like, she was actually mocking the whole ranking system.
I see. I'm good. I would be the color commentator in the situation with me and you, because I go play by play, but you find that stuff that I don't see. And I did not really, I was just like, oh, she's going to get more wins. True. She's going to go on Dark and Elevation.
For her to say that, she was definitely taking the piss. Like, I'm just going to go back to Dark and Elevation to get more wins. Like, why don't you get more wins on Dynamite?
She doesn't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, that's brilliant, really. So shout out to Dr. Britt Baker, who's currently ranked number 2. I think she'll be number. She's 3 now, but she's gonna eclipse.
She has more
2
wins than number 2. Yeah.
So number 2 ranked. Ty Conti's facing Sheeta next week for the title. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I won't be mad if she wins, but we'll see.
Of course you won't.
Yeah, I know.
Should she win is the question.
Why not? That'd be a surprise win. People really like her.
People do like her. People do like her. I just don't think. Well, what I'm about to say. They never done this with Sheeta either, but I just don't think we know enough about her. My only reason I'm really invested in Conti is because from her NXT days. And I knew she was good then. But that's apart from that. If I was like a brand new, like someone like a casual fan started watching this, and I could see, okay, she's good in the ring, but what do we know about her apart from she's Brazilian?
I feel like, yes, that's kind of true. And I don't want to sound like an idiot here. I don't. But I feel like she's got such a great look that people are automatically drawn to her. And I think that's backed up by she's drawing like the top television ratings for.
You're correct.
It's like crazy, dude. Yeah.
All of that is correct. But how often do you see someone that is nothing but just a good look? And I say she is a good look and she's a good wrestler, but they then just put the belt on her because she hasn't even cut a promo that says, I'm Tay Conti and I'm coming after everyone in the women's division. Something basic like that. She hasn't even done that.
She did that a little bit last night.
On Dynamite.
She had a thing with, it was like, let's take a look at Sheeta and Ty Conti. And she's like, I'm coming to win the belt. Like, it's my time. It was like 20 seconds.
Like a backstage pre-recorded thing.
Pre-recorded video over
yeah. That's what I mean. But she hasn't spoken to a live crowd. She hasn't kind of done that side of the job yet. Just to take an NK's comment here, he said on our previous conversation, Jade Cargill is going to be a huge star. Her and Baker will run that division soon. Cargill and Velvet will be one of those fight forever feuds, 100%.
Fight forever. You see any of those indie shows last week?
No, I didn't.
I've read that dude, Moxley lost.
To who?
Josh Barnett he was
Bloodsport.
UFC heavyweight champion. He got choked out by Barnett, which is crazy. So
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, maybe Barnett's going to come over. And now he accepted a challenge to do a death match, like a legit light tube death match with Nick Gage from GCW. Which Renee's got to be flipping out with this.
Moxley is an unacceptable husband. Like,
yeah, dude,
he's
like
totally unacceptable.
I'm not really big into death matches, right? And I watched this to see like how it is, because it's from New Jersey. It's my home promotion, and these dudes were carving each other with light tubes. Like, he's gonna go and do that. All right, man. Like,
we're all gonna watch it, though, aren't we?
Hats off to Moxley, though, man.
Yeah, let's get back to Dynamite.
Let's get back to Dynamite with Anthony Ogogo, Britain's most famous boxer, allegedly. Allegedly, he cut a great promo again. Back to Arpit's point, nobody saw it because it was on Road to Dynamite, which is like a weird YouTube. Have you even seen Road to Dynamite?
A couple of times, but I don't tune in to watch it. Yeah,
you're not a Road to Dynamite guy, okay? No. Well, he said that he's been fighting all his life because he was born with an umbilical cord wrapped around him, and he had to fight to survive throughout life. His mother's a fighter. She came down with some serious medical condition. He's blind, apparently, in one eye because of boxing. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Well, that's badass, dude. He's had over 300 fights in the boxing world. So he made his in-ring debut representing the Factory with QT Marshall against Cole Carter, a guy who we've seen on Dark, I think, a few times. It's a really short match. They did a tie-up, and he did a kidney punch to the sternum area of this guy, and it knocked him out. The ref stopped it.
Now, I don't mind it. It's a bit of a different finish.
Weird,
But obviously this is his debut, so they're trying to get him across like a badass, which I get. But what I thought, do you think this is corny? if obviously he does the gut punch and the guy he punched like vomits or like starts coughing up blood.
Did he?
No, he didn't. I'm saying, what would you think if that happened? Would you think that's corny or what?
No, that's kind of cool.
So that's what I was thinking. I thought, yeah, he looked like pretty sick because he punched the guy couldn't stand and the referee called off the match. But what if the guy like started coughing up blood or vomited a bit of vomit or something like that? Like that would make people legit scared for a go-go. But I guess it might be hard to then follow that through with other competitors, further down the line. But
if you've ever gotten hit there, that's what you do.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good. So I understand where you're coming from. That would be really cool. I would have rather seen it in the face, though.
Yes. Yeah. I would rather see him knock him out, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was an effective way to, his first match was never ever going to be, more than 2 minutes, was it? So this is an effective way to get him across, get the factory on TV as well. So interesting to see how he kicks on from here.
Yeah, for sure. The governor is his name. The governor. What about Miro? I bet you're happy because he said he's done with Kip Sabian. He's been looking for Kip Sabian. He can't find him, but he's moving on with or without him.
Yes. Let's just see where it goes. For him to have a whole big song and dance that he's leaving Kip behind, I'm sure he's still gonna have a match with Kip. That's usually what it means. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. I want to see Miro maybe challenge Darby Allin for the TNT Championship.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really sold on him right now. Not Darby, I'm talking about Miro.
Neither am I, to be completely honest. He's went cold. When he came into AEW, man, I was smiling from
that was a cool debut.
I thought, here we go. Like you man that are complaining and sitting in the back and sitting at catering, you want your opportunity. Here we go.
Yeah, here's your opportunity.
Yeah.
Here's your chance.
And so far he hasn't really. So we'll see how that goes with him anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping he turns it around for the better. But one of the fan favorites, one of the most anticipated matches tonight. Sorry about that. Dax Harwood of the Pinnacle being accompanied by Cash Wheeler versus Chris Jericho being accompanied by Sammy Guevara. And it warms my heart to see them back because I hated when Sammy was gone. And Tyson was the special guest enforcer for this match to stop anybody from doing any BS, as he was saying it. So this was kind of a blood feud, Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. And my first impressions of this match was that it was very brawl-like. I feel like they were really going out for blood here. Really just striking each other. It was like more of a kind of like a strong style bout, I thought, which was cool. And they went back and forth for a while. There was some interference that was tried on the part of Cash Wheeler, who was at ringside, but Tyson quickly stopped that. Then we had some interference from the whole Pinnacle, who ran out, MJF and all them, to try to get an advantage. But Inner Circle came out and fought on the entrance ramp. But eventually everything cleared up. They had some in-ring action, and we ended up seeing Chris Jericho get the Judas effect for the victory on Dax Harwood. And Mike Tyson punched Cash Wheeler.
What a punch.
Yeah, what a punch. It looked like it had some impact to it. Jericho
Cash definitely sold it well.
Definitely sold it well. I was looking back, and I think that when he punched Shawn Michaels at Mania, that looked like a real punch, right?
Yeah.
Unless I know Shawn's great at selling, but
it looked real. I'm with you with that. It did look real. This match was really fun. It was really good. Overbooked, but I think that's fine because they're obviously telling the story of how much these guys all hate each other, and they're building towards that blood and guts match.
Blood and guts, May 5th, baby.
Yeah, so not too far away. Maybe just like 2 weeks away or so. I don't know if this is another thing I noticed. There was a lot of WWE guys on this show.
Maybe, yeah.
I think, I say, ex WWE guys, Pac, obviously FTR, Chris
Matt
Jericho,
Hardy.
Matt Hardy in the main event. And I think that's purposely because obviously with NXT not being on the same day anymore, maybe they want, the WWE fans to come over to AEW, check it out, see some faces that they recognize, so that maybe they stick around.
I can see that rolling out the big guns for the debut of Dynamite in a post-competition era.
Yeah. So yeah, that's part of it as well. So I think that was the thinking behind it. But like I said, this match was really good and really entertaining. I'm just looking forward to the blood and guts match now.
I'm looking forward to that too, man. And officially, Mike Tyson is an ancillary member of the Inner Circle now, which is dope. That's badass. Just like we was in DX back in the day.
Yeah.
But honestly, throughout this whole time, it looked like Mike Tyson had a genuinely fun time being around Jericho, being around AEW, being around the Pinnacle, just being in the wrestling promotion. So I hope he's. I wouldn't mind if this guy came back. He's awesome. I know he's a draw, so. Good for Mike Tyson. There was an interesting Jericho quote to kind of go along with what you said, that there was a lot of ex-WWE guys. He said it on the Broken Skull sessions, which I would definitely recommend going to check out. But he said that the idea with bringing in these guys like Hardy and Jericho in Christian Cage is to create a link with the people who are wrestling fans who maybe only are exposed to one brand, and they get that connection. Oh, I know them. I know Jericho. I know Cage. And then they hook them in that way and bring them in, introduce them to the Bucks, introduce them to Omega, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy. So
that's the tactic, of course. It's always been the tactic. That's how it's always worked. Even when WCW, WWE were warring, when the big names went over to WCW, that's where WWE lost some of their viewership because they want to go watch these guys. Then they find out about the Goldbergs, DDPs, all these other kind of people. So.
Mysterio,
Mysterio, Booker T, everyone,
Great match though, and Mike Tyson. Thanks everybody for sticking around on the Elite Maniac podcast, episode 12. We 12 weeks, right? Seems like time's just gone by pretty fast in this world of wrestling. Man, I love wrestling. So much fun, dude. So much fun to watch. What would you do without it, right? It's weird to think about.
It's weird to think about. Just nothing new.
But at this point of the show, I was really enjoying it, and I really enjoyed it even more when I saw the Elite with Gallows and Anderson come on the screen. Young Bucks in their stupid little douchey biker hats that they were wearing, and the cleaner Kenny Omega. And what was interesting with this is that also Doc Gallows was wearing a hoop earring.
Yeah,
what is wrong with
so was Nick, so was Matt.
Yeah, but Gallows was huge.
Oh yeah, his was a hoop. The rest of them were just like dangly kind of earrings.
Dude, he looks like a pirate. It's funny, man. I love that guy. But Don Callis said, "You think you've seen it all? You haven't seen anything yet. It's just the beginning. Be prepared for more surprises." And I don't know if you noticed this. They were standing in front of a limo. Was there somebody in that limo that they're alluding to with this surprise thing? Because
good point.
Callis can do anything, man. Who knows, right?
I did think that this was like maybe they're gonna debut a new member or something like that, or they're linking up with the Bullet Club guys in Japan, even though it seems like things are a bit fractured right now. But yeah, it did sound like there was going to be a new piece of the puzzle, aka a new member or something.
Yeah, man. Well, they're all there. So, and this was pre-taped, and John Moxley's match over at the dojo, I think, already was recorded. So, who knows what happened? We will find out. Don Callis obviously has something up his sleeve.
Christian Camacho says Young Bucks were wearing Triple H hats.
Is that what? Oh yeah, Hunter did wear that. Chris Statlander's back, man.
Yeah,
and she's with the best friends, and I know JR said she looks leaner than ever, fitter than ever. She looks great. And I would agree. It looks like she took this time off to really improve herself in and outside the ring. Yeah. She faced Amber Nova, who kind of an unknown talent, but she's got a cool look. It was kind of a squash match, though. Chris Statlander did end up getting the victory with kind of a rough pile driver. It's called the Supernova pile driver, and that kind of dropped her on her head.
Yeah, I noticed.
Chris Statlander got the win, though, and that was basically it. She's back, and she's with the Best Friends.
Good match. Nice to see Best Friends at a ringside and supporting her and stuff. Are her and Orange Cassidy still keeping up their love angle or whatever?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess they're dating, or she likes him, something like that, right?
Cool. Okay, but yeah, good to see her back. She's going to be a good addition to the women's division. She was just really getting started and getting hot when she got injured, so hopefully she can refine that momentum.
For sure. I was really confused with this next segment. The open contract with Christian Cage. I thought he was talking about an open challenge. Yeah. What's an open contract? Can you define that for me? Can you use it in a sentence?
I mean, he described it as he can wrestle whenever he wants, but is like, I just think like it's one of those things that they didn't really need to get into. It's just like, just come out, say, you know, I came to AEW to be a competitor, to be competitive. Just, I want an opponent. Someone come and challenge me. That's it. But you start bringing in all this funny verbiage, and you know what it is? It's going to be me and you that catch them out very soon. We're not going to see Christian for like 3-4 weeks, and then we're going to be like, oh, Christian, where's your open contract?
Yeah, right. We'll remember that because we're really smart.
So that's the thing. They're only gonna go and stumble on it somewhere down the line. So yeah, didn't need to say it, but yeah.
Well, I just didn't understand this segment. I really thought that he was coming out there saying like, bring me someone from the locker room, but then he was like, my contract, my legal loopholes. Like, I don't know. I didn't get it. Team Taz came out and they were like, they wanted a response. And of course, Christian Cage says no. He says Team Taz is kind of like a dumpster fire right now. He didn't come to AEW to fix Taz's problems. He came to win titles, which is not going to happen, in my opinion. But I digress, as Taz always says. Then he said no. Taz calls him a shitbag, which was pretty funny. And then Christian Cage said that whatever, dude, like go make your bingo hall money, which is kind of a diss. And then our boy Will Hobbs came out. East Side Palo Alto, and just kicked his ass. He put him to the entrance steps, stomped his head, threw him all around. So now I guess we're getting Cage versus Will Hobbs next week. And why does Team Taz have to feud with every new person that comes to AEW? Why? Why do they throw them out there to take the loss? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting when they decide to actually start building Team Taz. How many of us will actually still care at that point? But yeah, there's elements of this Taz and Christian promo which felt a bit like a shoot. Like it felt like these guys are just taking disses at each other. Like he said the bingo money thing. Taz said, yeah, I never liked you and your other friend that carried you.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about Edge, obviously. Like there's some parts that felt like this wasn't, you know, we know things aren't scripted like that, but yeah, this wasn't in the plan. They were just kind of going back and forth. And then I love the way something. Yeah, I love the way Will Hobbs just literally he lowered the mic. Did you notice that? He just put his hand over the mic of Taz and just pushed it down and then went to go deal with Christian, which I thought was really good. The promo before this with Taz, Team Taz and the rest of the guys backstage, you know, with Will Hobbs not wearing a shirt, I just thought, God forgive me, I'm not body shaming, yeah, but standing next to Brian Cage,
it looks a little odd, right?
He didn't look good, mate. Like, we know he's a pretty big guy. He's not as defined as Brian Cage, of course, but he didn't look good at all standing next to Brian Cage.
And Ricky, who's like shredded, and Hook.
Yeah. He did not look good. Anyway,
we're looking at we're looking at the men's bodies too, everybody. Yeah, he should wear his singlet, dude. He looks kind of cool in that thing.
Yeah, the singlet works.
Yeah.
Or at least if you're gonna be topless, just don't stand next to the bride.
Dude, it actually, you're right. It's kind of weird. He's always just like in jeans without a shirt on. It just looks like he's like just finished in the bedroom or something. He's just out there like, and he's always got that. He's like, he's smiling, dude. Yeah. This was stupid though. This was. I don't want to see this, man. I don't want to see.
What? You don't want to see what?
I don't want to see Team Taz take another loss. Like, can we just like, why don't you throw like someone else out there? Like, there's plenty of other factions. Like, throw the stupid Hardy family, whatever, or like, why is it always Team Taz?
Yeah, they need to start building Team Taz literally before people start losing.
It's make or break it.
Yeah, people won't care. And Christian is going to beat Will Hobbs. That's
it's BS, dude. Like,
yeah, it's a weird one, but hey.
Yeah, how many losses can these guys really take before? Yeah, exactly. Like you said, we really don't care anymore.
Stop caring. Yeah.
Main event, man, and it was for the TNT Championship with Darby Allin, who's wearing new pants. So I know Christian out there Christian Camacho is probably happy. He wasn't wearing his leggings. And he took on Matt Hardy in a Falls Count Anywhere no DQ match. I had some beef with this match, man. Can they stop with the run-ins? Like, I'm really getting tired of this. I don't mean to complain about every little thing here, but I read an analysis kind of how many people appear on Dynamite Weekly. And I said this last week, but it went into a little bit more depth. There's like 80 to 100 people that appear on television because you get a ton of run-ins.
So many run-ins. Yeah.
And that has been happening in New Japan, and people are pissed off. Like the real traditional fans who just want to see in-ring action, knowing why is this happening? I know that from what I saw from WrestleMania, we had like Uso run in, but not really many run-ins.
Yeah, Uso came down to the ring with Roman, so it's not really.
He's his second.
Yeah, he's involved.
But we had Sting, Lance Archer, the Dark Order, the Butcher and the Blade, Private Party. They all came down in this match to interfere, and it was like kind of like, let me run down and get my 15 seconds of fame here. Like, how about we focus on the match, because everybody wants to see the match. We don't really want to see Isaiah Cassidy and Lance. I'm sorry, Lance. What do you think about the increase of run-ins? Because it is, if you look at the numbers, it's gone way up recently.
Yeah, I have noticed that now that you say it, that there are a lot of run-ins on a regular basis. The thing is with this one, I don't particularly mind it because it was a no DQ match. And for the sake of logic, I always think, well, if you're having a no DQ match and your people don't show up to back you, then, you know, what's the point? The match type gives them the ability for them to come and help you because there's no disqualification. Having said that, the involvement of everyone that got involved didn't actually lead to the win at all. There wasn't like a distraction caused or someone got beaten up so badly it became easier for the other person to pin them. There was literally no need for this run-in. They just had the running in the middle of this match and everyone went away as well afterwards.
Lance Archer one too. What did that further, really?
Yeah. That's exactly it. So I think you can use run-ins, and I know they're trying to probably get that kind of, like you said, the New Japan element to doing that, the Attitude Era kind of feel of just pure chaos. But I think if it's not going to lead to a decision in the match or a key story beat, then there isn't really a need for the run-in.
Yes, I would agree with that. I just thought the match was tainted a little bit with this. It kind of like took my focus away from the competitors who, for all honesty, they were really going at it.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the match before the first commercial break, they were killing each other with the chairs. Matt Hardy was just beating up Darby Allin, and Darby got his back split open from chair shots, which that can't feel good. So Darby Allin's just an animal, but Darby was hitting him back with the chair. And I had a friend, my friend Ryan, who's not, he knows a little bit about wrestling. We've been watching it since we were kids, but he's not like a full fan, kind of a real casual. He commented that like right when the action was heating up, they like went to a commercial, and he was like, I don't understand this. It's like kind of taking my mind off this. I know that in the opening they don't do commercials. I feel like in the main event maybe they should not do that. I don't know. It just took everyone's attention away. Then we had all the run-ins. But having said that, the match did get good towards the end when they started fighting backstage, and there were some seat popping moments. I was like, oh. So Darby Allin goes down the entrance tunnel. They see Tony Khan, throws Matt Hardy through, throws Darby Allin through the monitors, Tony Khan's TVs. Matt Hardy climbs up on a ladder, does like a leg drop. Only got a 2 count though. Darby then got a low blow. He jumps off the entrance ramp, gets the back, comes back, hits Matt a couple times, and then does like a pretty cool spot where he climbs up on this metal structure, I guess where some part of the stage is. It looked like part of the Titantron that like Shane O'Mac used to jump off of. But Darby, obviously, he didn't go that high. He jumped off of that, coffin drop Matt Hardy through the announce table, and did get the 3 count. I wish he went a little bit higher, don't you?
Yeah, I do wish he went a bit higher. But that was a very hard spot because Matt Hardy on the table wasn't directly under him. He like jumped and then like jumped in a direction.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like straight down. He had to jump off in a direction. So maybe that's why he didn't go so high.
Can you imagine doing that?
The guy's a lunatic.
Like I get like a frog splash. I know that's scary, even a frog splash to do. But can you imagine getting up on something and jumping off with your back turn? Like that could go so wrong, dude. You could kill yourself.
Yeah, the landing is everything. The landing alone could probably paralyze you if things went wrong.
Yeah, dude. That's why I'm happy. I'm just sitting behind this screen, being a mark and commenting on everything instead of going up there and doing it. But what did you think of this? What did you think of this match, especially the ending?
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. It was all fun. I guess this is the kind of, I don't know about yourself, but this is the kind of chaos at times I like to see, especially on a TV show, week to week. At the end of like a pay-per-view, the main event, then I would love to see like a stellar match sort of thing, a really good wrestling match. But when it's TV, give us these kind of chaotic main events where anything can happen. It's a hardcore match or no disqualification match or multi-man match of some sort. It was really good. It's good to see Darby getting more defenses under his belt.
Yeah. That's 3 now in 3 weeks.
Yeah, so we'll see soon who's gonna be the next person. But maybe they have to probably tell a story here where, Darby Allin isn't really dominating any of these matches, if we're all honest with ourselves. He's just doing the bare minimum to get by. So maybe at one point he does he just runs out of steam, and that's when he gets destroyed by
like Cody.
Whoever. Yeah, exactly.
Like what happened to Cody. To be honest, I'm warming more up to Darby. I've been liking these defenses. I've been liking his matches. So I'm a little bit more behind the guy now, and I'm rooting for him. That same study that I talked about with the run-ins also did a thing, an analysis about violence in AEW and the implementation of more blood, more weapons matches, more hardcore spots. And they've also noted that it's gone way up. In the main events, like a year ago, they weren't really doing these matches on television as much, but now like Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, people are they're getting killed out there. It's good for some people, good for not some people don't like it, but I like it.
Yeah, I definitely think where you use it correctly, it adds to the story. I'm not a fan of blading.
Really, I like it a lot.
No, I like blood, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a fan of blading. I'm not a fan of the actual process of taking a blade and cutting yourself.
So
we don't see that. We don't see that, so I guess that's fine, but it's obvious when someone's bladed, isn't it? But
you don't like it?
I don't like blading at all. But at the same time, I do want blood in my wrestling. So unfortunately, this sounds worse, but I prefer a more natural busted open.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Everybody likes that.
I prefer a more natural busted open rather than someone blading themselves, personally speaking. and I know it's a bit more crazier, but I just don't like the self-harm sort of stuff.
That's understandable. Cody loves bleeding. Moxley does it a lot. Mox and Cody love bleeding.
Moxley blades like brushing his teeth. Like he blades like 5, 7, 10 times a week. So
yeah, dude, same. I've noticed that too. And if you're if you're like a little bit trained, you could tell when he does it too. Go down and put the hands.
You know when they do it. You know when they all do it. But yeah, Arpit says here that Darby would hit a coffin drop from 50 feet. He's an effing madman. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he has any regard for himself.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see who he actually drops that TNT title to.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the rundown of AEW Dynamite this week.
Got a few questions on Instagram.
To get your question read out and answered on the show, please make sure you are following myself, WrestleManiac.uk. You're following Kings Road Wrestling on Instagram, and you hit up Kings Road Wrestling with the question. So, Mike, do you want to take it away? The questions?
Yeah, we don't have that many this week because, unfortunately, we usually do this at 1:30, but I'm getting a vaccine today, and I got that text this morning that I was okay. So I'm sorry that we're doing this at a different time, but we will be warning you guys with more time if we do decide to adopt a new time. First question, though. Yeah. I'm a Fat Mark Weekly says, what could be Don Callis' surprise you mentioned? And this was a cool element that I thought of the show, and I was really pontificating what it could be. Well, man, I'll let you go first because I'm wild with my theories.
It's a person. That's 100%. It's okay. Someone is joining them in some way, shape, or form. Maybe a woman.
That's true.
A woman, because obviously they've already got 2 tag teams and a singles guy there. They could bring in maybe a mid-card kind of level singles guy, but maybe a woman into the ranks.
That's actually a really good point, because let's dispense with the possibility that it's a New Japan guy, unless that they did a ton of tapings in advance, which we know that's not true because Dynamite's usually live unless they did tapings. Because all these guys went back to go do wrestling Duntaku in the Stadium series. So, and there's still a 2-week quarantine. So yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Maybe it is a woman. Who it is, I have no idea, really. Man,
do I dare say?
Yeah, say it.
Tessa Blanchard.
Ooh, can you imagine that? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. She's controversial enough to enter
to fit in with them.
To fit in with them, exactly. So,
man, that's a sick theory. That's the coolest theory I've heard all week. What if she came out the limo, man?
NK says here, I think it's Konosuke Takashita from DDT.
I don't think it's him.
With Omega and the Young Bucks on social media.
He did a match at the House Always Wins, and he was on Dark Elevation, but he looks like he doesn't really like Kenny that much from the promos because Kenny was kind of insulting him. I don't know. He's already been there. I feel like I trust Uncle Don to surprise us with a little bit more than that. I'm not saying Takeshita's not cool, but I don't think he likes Kenny. So,
I mean, I don't think it's Tessa necessarily. I'm just trying to say, she would be probably a good
someone like that
scenario. But they said it will be a surprise. So
yeah, it's a surprise element.
This is definitely a name of some, some level. If you see what I mean, this isn't going to be someone that's the masses don't really know. I think there'll be a good addition with some name value.
I'll give a backup answer for myself too. I will say I'll go with Jay White.
Oh my God.
Coming out the thing, because they've already mentioned him in a promo on AEW talking about Switchblade. Kenny and him have had history, and they could have done promo tapings because he's in Tampa. So
maybe Arpit's guest. It's a dog.
It's a dog.
We shall see. But ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. Thank you for joining us here today. Oh, was there any more questions? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll run down them real quick though. That's my bad.
Go on.
Wrestle in Peace asks, "What do you think of Hangman's current booking?" I think they're going with the slow burn here to eventually have him dethrone Omega, and I'm glad because I want to see Kenny have a good long reign. So I like
what I thought today.
What's that?
It's definitely a slow burn. I thought that the Young Bucks are obviously going to put to the sword all of those tag teams that were watching their match. They're going to beat Jurassic Express. They're probably going to cause Kazarian and what's his face?
Daniels
to split. They're going to beat all these teams. And I think Hangman Adam Page is going to help Silver and Reynolds become tag team champions.
That'd be great, man. And that kind of goes into one of these other questions from Y2 Garcia. She says, do you think that the Elite will try to manipulate Hangman into joining them? So you're going to say that he's going to go full Dark Order?
I don't think he's going to join Dark Order,
okay.
But I think I do see maybe them trying to get him back, and maybe this is how he gets to Kenny in the end, that he helps Dark Order beat Young Bucks for the titles, and then he then might move on to having singles matches with both of the Young Bucks, beat them, and then eventually he gets to Kenny Omega for the title.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. I also could see Don Callis pulling his BS like he did on the Young Bucks and just really getting under Hangman's skin and bringing him down, and then bringing him up and manipulating him. So that's a good point from Y2 Garcia. But we shall see. So many cool elements, so much cool wrestling out there these days. So, we'll be on the lookout for stuff. We'll keep you guys updated. But that's all I have on the notes. You got anything?
Cool. So no, that is the this is the real end of the show now.
The real end of the show.
Thanks for everyone that tuned in. We've got a couple things that's been mentioned next week already for Dynamite. Ricky Starks versus Hangman Page. This is the battle of two guys that have a really good singles record. So we're gonna see who's gonna get another loss in their tally. Trent, his first singles match back against Penta El Zero Miedo. You would expect Trent to win on his first night back, but it'll be very interesting to see.
Very good match.
Powerhouse Hobbs versus Christian Cage, like we said earlier. Probably a win for Christian Cage. And then we got the big AEW Women's Championship match. Hikaru Shida, the champion, defending against Tai Conti. Again, another match which is going to be good on paper. We'll see who walks away as the winner. Guys, please make sure before you leave, whether you're watching live or watching this back, you smash the like button. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell as well so you get notified each and every time we start a new video, we drop a new video. And for all our audio listeners out there, please make sure you subscribe or follow us on your podcast platform of choice. Leave us with a 5-star review. Let the people know how well me and Mike are doing on the Elite Maniac podcast. Mike, any last words before we finish today?
That's it for me. Thank you guys. And I hope you have a great week.
Yeah, guys. This is obviously at a special time. It's an hour earlier than we usually do it. So yeah, just stay tuned to our social media as to what time this will be next week. It should be back to normal time, but we'll see. So thanks for everyone joining live today, and we'll speak to you next week.